I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Hey, today on CityCast Philly, happy Parade Day. EAGLES Eagles. We're talking about some of our favorite players this season, the midweek snowstorm, and what we're doing for Valentine's Day. It's Friday, February 14th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. Hey guys, we're at the Fiddler Club. Joining me for this really eventful day and weekend is Matt Katz, CityCast Philly executive producer. Happy glorious Friday, Matt.
Happiest day in Philadelphia history, Trenae, or at least up there.
Right.
Tied for the happiest day.
Yes. And joining us is CityCast Philly producer Abby Fritz. Abby, this is your first Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl parade extravaganza. How are you feeling about this?
I am so excited. Being on Broad for the first time was like magnetic, and I'm sure the parade is going to be like the same vibe.
Because you were on Broad Street on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see?
Everything.
Right.
Literally everyone, everything. And like if you listen to our episode about that night and the win, I was on Broad with a mic, and I think everybody was just like wanted to scream in it. Like every any chance someone could to just be like, go Birds. Like they were doing it. So it was a lot of fun, and it was great to talk to everyone and see how happy and joyous a moment it was to be like collective Philadelphians.
For everybody going out to the parade today, we've got all the logistics you need to know about, how to stay safe, how to get there. Over in our Hey Philly newsletter, you can go to philly.citycast.fm and get all that information. I think the biggest challenge, guys, that people are going to have is they don't have enough clothes, Eagles clothes to wear to get through these weeks of celebration. That's why today I'm wearing my old We Won That John t-shirt from when we won last time around.
This has been such an epic season and an even more powerful finish. So let's just give a shout out to some of our favorite players. Although it's tough because all players on this 53-man roster really did their thing, from the front office to the coaching staff, who I have to say congratulations to Autumn Lockwood. She is the Eagles' associate sports performance coach. And now she has become the first Black woman to coach in a Super Bowl, and now the first Black woman coach to win. So congrats to Autumn.
Yeah, she's getting that ring. Good for her.
Yes. Now, y'all know I have to start with the MVP of the Super Bowl, our very own Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
I believe in love, and these happy feelings, feel that happy feeling.
So of all of the images and videos that have come out over the last couple of days, the image that has stuck with me is Jalen Hurts sitting on the floor. He's wearing his Kelly Green Jordan cleats.
Yep.
He's got goggles kind of hanging on the side of his neck. He's got his Super Bowl hat on, and he's holding the Lombardi trophy and then got the cigar hanging out his mouth.
Yeah.
But he's just like in awe, trying to like process what just happened, the game, this whole season, you know, it being the second time that the team has been in the Super Bowl in the last 3 years, beating the Kansas City Chiefs, who were like the favorite to win, but didn't. And he's singing one of his favorite songs, Happy Feelings, from Philly's own Frankie Beverly, who recently passed. But it's just like, this image just speaks to his character. Such a classy guy.
Yeah, he like took a quiet moment away from the celebration, went into a hallway near the locker room and kind of slumped down and is puffing the cigar and looking at his reflection in the Lombardi trophy and really taking that moment to savor it. and really just a beautiful, iconic image.
Yeah.
There has never been a cooler man to walk the face of the earth than Jalen Hurts.
Maybe he'll switch his iPhone background to that photo.
He says he's not going to.
Yeah, he's not. He still has the photo of the confetti falling for the Kansas City Chiefs when we lost 2 years ago.
That's been his screen image on his phone for the last 2 years, and he says he's not changing it. Amazing.
Wow.
I think that's like a
Motivating.
superstition. Remember we were talking about
Yeah, you don't want to
superstitions
mess
on
it
the
up.
show? Yeah.
Right.
Do you guys remember back in 2023 when he donated $200,000 to buy 300 air conditioners for 10 Philly public schools?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why he's one of my favorites. Like, he's not just an amazing athlete on the field, but just an amazing man off the field and also supporting Philadelphia.
Yeah, and a lot of the philanthropy he does is pretty quiet. I mean, he's just out in the community doing things, supporting Philadelphians. I mean, first of all, disgusting that our government doesn't have the money apparently to fund air conditioning for our schools. But set that aside for a moment. We're glad there's heroes like Jalen out there who are allowing our kids to learn in comfortable temperatures.
Right. So the Philadelphia Citizen is actually honoring him this year as the Citizen of the Year.
Pretty cool.
And remember, he was on Abbott Elementary and the kids and the teachers went crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out to Jalen Hurts.
He's been all over the place this week. He was at Disney World the morning
know.
after
Yeah.
leading the parade. My mother-in-law alerted me the other day when he was on The View with all the ladies of The View. They were all swooning over him, obviously. And then he was on Jimmy Fallon.
The Tonight Show. But he's also with Saquon Barkley, who is
Yes.
like our star running back.
Yep.
And they were talking about, you know, all of the touchdowns that Jalen had got during the Super Bowl. And the first one being, you know, the tush push. But Jalen and Saquon actually set the record straight on something.
The first one was doing what people are calling the tush push. Yeah. Is that what you call it?
It's not what I call it.
It's not what you call it. No.
What I call it.
What do you call it?
You know, I'm not gonna say what I call it, but it's
Okay, but it's not.
You know, everybody is came up with their own name for it. You know, the brotherly shove, the tush push, all these different things. It's not that.
It's not that.
No.
Okay.
I was shocked too, because when I got there, I known as the tush push, but I didn't know if that's what it would be called, but I thought it was called that, and it's not called the tush push, actually.
No. What is your role in the quote unquote tush push?
I think I have the easiest job, to be honest. I think I'm the one who pushes the tush.
I'm the one that actually pushes the tush.
I died when I heard
Isn't
that.
it so funny?
So funny.
Do you guys want to know something that I'm a little biased because I play rugby and this might be like a rugby rumor, but like apparently that's a rugby move.
Oh, it
And-
is? Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
totally. That's
Okay,
why
cool.
it's never
Confirmed.
really been done in the NFL before, but it is absolutely inspired by rugby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of football things
So
are.
you be pushing the...
Are you the
So
That is
actually
not
you
my
push
position.
the pushes? I mean, you push the tushes?
I mean, I've pushed a tush or two, but that's not my position on the rugby team.
Matt, who was your favorite Eagles player this year?
Yeah, so I mean, these guys are just so impressive on and off the field that it's hard to kind of figure out who my favorite is. But A.J. Brown, our tremendously muscular wide receiver, he posted something on Instagram a couple of days after the Super Bowl, and it just blew me away. He wrote, "After a few days, I've had time to reflect on being a champion." And he said the feeling was short-lived. 2 days to be exact, LOL. He said, "It's the hunt that does it for me. It's when the defensive back drops his head and surrenders because he can't F with me. The intense battles, early mornings, late nights, sacrifices. I love putting smiles on people's faces, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. It's the journey that I love the most, back to work." So he wants another Lombardi trophy already. We haven't even had the parade yet. But there's like a life lesson in there that the experience of getting there is really what makes life valuable and meaningful. And he is such an inspiration. And he's been very open through the years about, you know, the struggles we all have when it comes to, just kind of getting up in the morning sometimes. I mean, a couple of years ago in a social media video, he said, I'm kind of nervous even saying this, but a year ago from today, I thought about taking my own life. I had no more hope of better days and everything was just going wrong for me. He said he was struggling with depression and suicidal ideation. And he said, I want to encourage others to seek help whenever they're down. I didn't really take that into consideration, what depression really was. I always brushed it off. That's how I grew up. But don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to seek help because somebody was there for me and it saved my life. And I mean, you know that somebody read that who needed to hear that at that moment. And somebody using their platform for something like that is just so remarkable. He said, keep going because I'm pretty sure you have people who love and care about you. Take it one day at a time. You get to choose your feelings. And whatever mood you want to be in, you get to choose it. If you want to be happy, you can be happy. So we learned a few weeks ago, maybe part of the wisdom that he has comes from this book, Inner Excellence, right?
Yes.
So
I'm still reading it.
To catch everybody up, a few weeks ago, during one of the playoff games, the cameras caught him on the sidelines reading this heavily dog-eared, highlighted book, Inner Excellence, by a self-help author. And after we saw this, Philadelphia Eagles fans made it the #1 seller on Amazon. It has really taken over the city, this message of positivity. Trenae, you and I were interviewing Councilmember Kendra Brooks this week for an interview that'll air next week. And right on top of her desk in City Hall was Inner Excellence. I mean, it's really just the message of inspiration has infected our city in such a great way. I totally love it. And a message of, literacy. And yeah, you got to read sometimes to feel good. And then, of course, my final thing on AJ, there's the little boy, Andre, who we've been talking about. He was injured in the plane crash in the week between the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. And the boy, 10 years old, he wakes up after being hit with some sort of debris from the plane while in the car with his family. And he's been injured in the head. And first thing he asks is if he saved his little sister, which he had because he had somehow protected her in the car. And then he asked if he missed the Super Bowl. And his parents told him no, he didn't. The Super Bowl is still coming. So AJ hears about this. He tweets, "Speedy recovery. You are a hero, young man. I'm going to come see you when I get back, hopefully with some hardware, playing for you on Sunday, my man." And it did not take AJ more than 48 hours to keep that promise. Showed up at shop with the hardware, with the Lombardi trophy, hung out with the family, gave him a bunch of swag, called Saquon so they could all talk to Saquon on the phone. Andre's mother afterwards wrote, "The amount of love and support you gave, being so patient and calling Saquon for him was beyond appreciated. Thank you for everything and bringing that win home for Trey, the world's greatest superhero."
Oh my gosh.
I'm smiling ear to ear. What a wonderful story.
I love it.
Yeah. These guys are so great.
What a great guy.
Okay, Abby, who's your favorite?
Yeah, how you going to top that, Abby?
Right. Speaking of Saquon Barkley, I just love him. He's great. You guys know I am not an avid football watcher. Honestly, I just kind of like his vibe. Every time I see him doing something, I'm like, that is so relatable. Matt, you sent me a post on X of the way he was eating his cake because it was his birthday at the Super Bowl.
Right.
And he was just entirely ignoring everyone and just chowing down. And the people were trying to talk to him and he was just shoveling it.
Jalen's like, "You're hungry, bro? What's going on?"
Literally. And yeah, I mean, he should be. He killed it. So I just think he is hilarious and relatable. Also being incredibly talented for the Eagles. I mean, he had the most rushing and scrimmage yards across the regular and postseason. He broke a record. So incredibly cool. And I love that he did all of this in Philly. He was in New York. And we love a New Yorker to Philadelphian pipeline here.
Yep.
Looking at
Do
you, Matt.
we?
Yep.
I'm looking at Matt.
That's me.
Oh, I guess I was in that pipeline too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And, he was born in the Bronx, but he really was raised in Pennsylvania. I think from the age of 4, he's been in PA. He played football in PA.
Penn State?
He went to Penn State, exactly. And your son has his
Jersey.
Penn State jersey.
Oh
like,
my gosh. Anytime Nabi wears that jersey, like Eagles fans go crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a great investment.
He crushed that shotgunning a beer in the locker room after the Super Bowl like so quickly. And he's
Very
like, well, yeah, I
impressed.
went to Penn State. Of
Yeah.
course I
And
can
he
do it
said that
quickly.
on Jimmy Fallon.
That's so funny. He's such a PA story, and everybody loves to see him. And he's so cute with his kids too.
I know.
Like they're so adorable. And I think on Fallon too, they listened to like the voicemail that his daughter left him before the Super Bowl. That was just like, I hope you win, but if you don't, it's okay. And it's so wholesome. He's such a wholesome guy.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
is.
rooting for him,
Yeah.
And he's got that eye black on one eye, which
Yeah.
my son wore through all the playoff games. He put eye black on one of his eyes while watching on TV.
That's so cute.
We've got more news after the break.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen. And keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
All right, if you were like us, you really didn't get much sleep on Sunday night going into Monday. And honestly, I didn't get much sleep Thursday into today either because I'm just so excited. I'm on this Super Bowl winning high. But we do have to talk about some other news that's happening in the city.
Yeah, we had a little snow this week, so the Philly Public Schools had a 2-hour delay, which means they haven't gotten much school at all the last couple of weeks. I mean, they had the non-snow virtual school day last week.
That pissed you off.
That pissed me off. Then they had the 2-hour delay this week, which was understandable. It was a rough commute.
Yeah.
And then they're off today for the parade. So
And then they're off on Monday for President's Day, right?
That's right. Yes, that's right.
A long weekend.
Yeah. In other news, Governor Josh Shapiro filed a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's federal funding freeze. I'm sure you guys have been hearing about these federal funding and cuts like all across the country. And a lot of people have been filing lawsuits. So now our governor has jumped on this bandwagon, which he says is in order to protect the interests of Pennsylvania and its citizens. So we're going to keep our eye on this and see how this escalates in the coming weeks and months.
I did also want to mention that this week, Mayor Sherrell Parker, she gave a speech at the Chamber of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia, which is a big deal because it sets up what she wants to focus on in her budget for this year and kind of set up her priorities. And she will be giving that budget address next month. But one of the issues that she really was focused on is housing. So she really emphasized this Mission 30,000 plan, which was a nod to her promise when she was just candidate Parker, when she was running for mayor. She wanted to create 30,000 new units of affordable housing, which is kind of ambitious. But now the plan has kind of morphed into not only affordable housing, but also market rate housing as well.
I believe it's not just new housing, it's also funding for rehabilitating housing as well.
Right, like renovation.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I read in the Inquirer some reporting from Sean Walsh that she also talked about getting longer deals with unions that represent city workers, trying to figure out what to actually do at Market East, which I think we're all looking for that plan, and also tax reform.
Yeah. Those last three things are a little smaller and maybe a little stickier, and the success will be harder to measure.
Yeah.
But the 30,000 is one of these very ambitious legacy-making things. Like if she is somehow able to say that she enabled 30,000 housing units in a city where the rent keeps getting higher and higher and it keeps getting less and less affordable, that would be a legacy-making accomplishment. And listen, I appreciate the ambition. Our last mayor toward the end had no major moonshot goals that he was pursuing, Jim Kenney, in his last term. So we'll see what happens. We'll be watching.
I mean, I think she seems to be excited and energized by it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think just like you mentioned with AJ Brown, like I'd rather people have goals. Champions have big goals. And so I'd rather her be swinging big than like not, you know?
For sure.
Very profound, Abby. We'll be right back after this break.
This President's Day, upgrade the look of your home without breaking your budget. Save up to 50% site-wide on new window treatments at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it easy with free virtual consultations on your schedule and samples delivered to your door fast and free. With over 25 million windows covered and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can count on Blinds.com to deliver results you'll love. Shop Blinds.com's President's Day mega sale now for up to 50% off site-wide. Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right. It's Love Day. Do y'all have some Love Day plans?
No.
No.
I mean, the parade is happening.
Valentine's?
Said the only married person in the room.
Right. So are you like anti-Valentine's?
I'm a little bit anti doing the thing that everybody's doing when they say you're supposed to be doing it. I had a romantic dinner with my wife a few weeks ago. We were celebrating 20 years of us being together.
Congratulations.
Incredible.
And she, well, frankly, forgot the date. So she didn't realize it was 20 years. So I was able to kind of surprise her with a card at dinner. We went to Dear Daphne, that new Mediterranean spot off Rittenhouse.
Nice.
It was beautiful in there. It's also, I think, the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in at a restaurant. It was restaurant week, which I don't love because you kind of have to, do what they say you should do. So I got to go back when it's not restaurant week, but the food was great and service was impeccable and the seats were comfy. So I feel like we've did the romantic thing in the last month or so.
But
so
how do you
I
keep
don't
that
think we're going to.
But how do you keep that romance going?
Well, I mean, it's the surprise of, oh my God, it's our 20th anniversary. I didn't remember, but you remembered. I feel like that's romantic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how much romance do you keep showing throughout the year?
Right. Is this
I'm
my
trying to take
therapy
notes
appointment?
here.
Or are you
Yeah.
taking notes? I mean, the other thing I was thinking of doing, and you tell me if this is romantic or not, the mic'd up NFL presentation of the Super Bowl just dropped. So they have the little documentary of all the players being mic'd up and talking about what's going on during the game with like calls from Merrill Reese, the longtime Eagles radio announcer, interspersed.
Wow.
And they've released a few clips of it. I haven't watched the full thing yet, but I was thinking about doing that for Valentine's Day. Is that not romantic?
Does your wife like that
does she
stuff?
like you?
I mean, it is like very loving. Can I tell you one moment? Devontae Smith, in this little documentary, who had a touchdown in the Super Bowl, goes over to the sidelines and he tells Jalen Hurts that he loves him. He goes, "I love you, boy." And then Jalen turns to Devontae and goes, "I love you too, dog." And I swear my eyes teared up.
Do you say "I love you too, dog" to your wife?
And she says, "I love you, boy." He said, "I love you too, dog."
That's funny. Yes. Maybe not exactly those words. I do love her. And I love the Eagles.
Had to throw it in.
Remember someone got married?
Yeah.
In the parking lot? In the link?
Oh, what?
They did?
This year?
Yes, they got married this year.
Oh, wow.
And there was proposals on Broad Street.
Proposals
I saw
all
that.
over the place.
Yeah, everybody's happy. We should check like 9 months from now and see how many like babies
yeah,
there are.
Right. Definitely will be a baby.
The Super Bowl babies?
Yeah, Super Bowl babies.
Oh my God. The number of boys entering kindergarten in the Philadelphia public schools in 6 years named Jalen. Can you imagine?
No, Saquon.
Saquon.
Or AJ.
For sure.
Or Devontae.
We're going to do a tally. This is good reporting, guys. This is what the people
Cooper.
need.
Coop. Oh my God.
Coop is cute. I do like Coop.
Okay, Abby, are you pro-love, anti-love?
I mean, very pro-love. I do get what Matt is saying where it's like, you shouldn't need Valentine's Day to do something special for your special someone. But I do love an excuse. I love an
Yeah.
excuse to go out and get cute and do whatever. So I may or may not have some plans. But I think yes, secret plans. No one else is invited. But one cool event that I saw is a fun take on Valentine's Day, and it's happening tonight. And it's like in the center-ish area. It's out in Callow Hill. So if you're going to the parade, you can go walk over there after. At least I could. And it's Queer Arm Wrestling is like a group in the city that puts on events, and they're doing a Valentine's Day event at Vox Populi. And I love this group. I've been wanting to go to one of their events because it's such like a funny way to like be in community is to just have this like big arm wrestling tournament like in different places. Like they arm wrestle everywhere, wherever they go. And it's all a fundraising event. So they pick different places to donate to afterwards. You pay, I think it's like $10 if you want to participate in the arm wrestling, and they match you with someone with like a similar strength level to you. You can self-designate your strength. And then you just like, at this particular event, you can mingle. You can go look at the art because Vox Populi is a gallery. And they have a DJ. And they also have a special messaging service that you can pay someone to go up to another person in the room and be like, hey, that person thinks you're cute.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that so fun?
Yeah.
I actually like that.
Like, that's so cool.
Because it just like gives you little butterflies and just like you can flirt, you know.
A little Valentine's gram across the room. Like, that's adorable. So I think this would be really fun for anyone who needs some last minute Valentine's Day things to do. How about you, Trenae?
I'll just say I'm going out for dinner.
Oh.
This weekend.
Where?
And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh, okay.
See secret plans.
Well, enjoy.
Thank you.
I like how sketchy you both are with your Valentine's Day plans.
Hey, close to the chest.
All right, Matt, Abby, I'll see you outside.
See you outside.
Go birds.
Go birds. Enjoy the parade, guys. Be safe. Have fun.
That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. What an amazing week. I hope you had one too. Our executive producer is Matt Katz. Our producers are Abby Fritz and Patrick Emile. Our Hey Philly newsletter editor is Siani Colon. And our host is me, your girl, Trenae Nuri. Music is by Philly's own Interminable, with additional music from All the Kimonos. If you enjoyed this roundup, all of the episodes of the week, share this with your friends who are also Eagles fans, even if they just joined the bandwagon. And don't forget to rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter, Hey Philly. We'll be back Tuesday morning because we're observing President's Day, but we'll be back with more news from around the city. Bye.